You wanna go see Liana? Let's go.
Daddy, stand here. Liana, stand here. Daddy, can you stand here? No, Dad.
Big boss, right here. I have a question. So, you start from zero,
Yes.
and you brought all these people together here. Tell me how you did that.
Well, I created this space because I wanted, families, especially children, to come here and enjoy the outdoors, in a colorful environment, which is safe and friendly, and so they can just have fun. So that's the biggest thing. And I knew that if you do something like this, people would come. There's a movie I like. I think most Americans have watched it. It says, I think, Field of Dreams. If you build, they'll come. And so we're just kind of slowly building this space because we want our children to live in an environment like this one, where they can know where food comes from, and it's a safe place. They can have fun in nature and just be creative. So it's very, very important for me, and this is encouraging, especially for parents when they come and bring their children. I feel that okay, we are on the right path, and they are the ones who can tell me that, oh, here, do this. They give me suggestions, and the cameraman is part of it. He's been kind of coming here, bringing the girl here. So
who? What is idea came from? The idea came from where?
Well, several years ago, I visited, there's a place called the Demonstration Garden, and I saw that they had a very small place for children. I mean, really small, and it was way in the back.
Yeah.
Just like maybe just a very small area. So I was, in a way, I felt bad, and I said, why do we create small spaces for children? Why not a large place? So that's where the idea came, because children are always curious, and I've always felt that, you create an environment where they can just explore, just expand their imagination, their curiosity. So that's where really the idea came from, from a small space I saw, which I said, no, that's not adequate for kids. Kids need to run around, touch, feel, smell, So that's really where I got the inspiration. Yeah. When I was in that situation, I said to myself, why do we as human beings live like this? I was upset because I almost got killed looking for food. It drove me mad. And right away, I said to myself, I'm going to the US. The reason why I said to myself, I would want to travel to go to the US, because I knew that once I get exposure, I get education, and I can impact my people back home. I can actually teach them how to grow food in abundance, because there's land in Africa, there's water in Africa. Why are they poor? But you see, if I just said that, people would look at me and say, yeah, right. So I had to demonstrate. And one way was to get the education. And I didn't have sponsors, so I took a chance. I went to the embassy. And the unlikely thing happened, because for immigrants, you'll agree with me that it's very, very hard to get a visa. Almost impossible. Especially if you don't have resources, funding, or scholarship, forget about it. I didn't have that. So when I went to the embassy, the guy that was interviewing me asked me, said, so tell us, why do you want to go to the US? I told a small white lie. I just wanted exposure, because you can learn from exposure, but I couldn't say, I want to go to school, because I didn't have the money. But anyway, I said, I want to go to school. This guy looked at me, he started laughing. Right there and then I knew that, whoop, I think I'm done. I just need to go back home. That was just a dream. But in my amazement, this gentleman, he went into another office, brought back his boss. Now I'm literally shaking and I'm going, what's going on now? His boss was very kind. He said, I hear you want to go to the US. I said, yeah, why? I said, I want to go to school. Then he just turned to this other guy and said, give him a visa. In my mind, I'm saying fake visa, because it doesn't happen like that. But sure enough, in 5 minutes, my visa was ready. I still didn't believe it, because I said, no ways, because you hear stories how hard it is to get a visa. So as soon as I was walking out of the embassy, it felt like somebody had just given me a check of $1 million. That's how it felt. I was so excited. I said, what next? I went to British Airways. They had a travel agent in my city. So I went there and said, guys, they've just given me a visa. Can you help me? Can you give me a ticket? The gentleman, the manager there was very nice and kind. He said, put it in writing. Well, we'll let you know whether we can do that. I went back the following day, just like that. The other good news was they gave me a return ticket, and I had a friend who was going to school here. So I said, well, I'll stay with him. If things don't work out, I'll just go back. So when I arrived, 3 days later, he took me to a school where I was attending. By the time I was walking out of that school, I had a 4-year scholarship, tuition only. True story. And then I asked him, I said, oh, do you have a job on campus? I said, oh, yeah, sure. Grounds maintenance. I'd never used a lawnmower in my life. I'd never used power equipment in my life. But they told me, don't worry, we'll teach you. And they taught me. And the people around, the neighbors, they would see me outside, I'm mowing the lawn, da, 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 da. They said, oh, when you're done, can you come and help us? In a short period of time, I was helping 5 ladies. I would mow their yard, and then they would ask me, have you ever worked, worked inside, vacuuming? I said, in Africa, we use a broom. I said, don't worry, vacuuming is easy. So they taught me. Soon I became kind of like a small contractor. That's how I began my life in the United States. But from day one, I knew exactly what I wanted. Are you listening, guys? You have a dream, follow it. I knew that I wanted to be involved in just growing food. So, if there was a place where there was a seminar about growing food, I'll be there. I wasn't making a lot of money, but I'll sponsor myself. I was so focused, and I was lucky because one of the professors saw me, said, I know exactly who would help you. So he introduced me to this gentleman who had worked around the world and had a lot of projects around the world. So I became his assistant. Fast forward, now we are at this place. 5 years ago, we began right there, just, small area. This area is a wetland, so it's very, very hard to work with. So it took me a little while to figure things out, And now, we're still growing. As you can see, it's still expanding. But you know why I'm excited? You are here. Because one of the dreams was to have at least music, art in this space. We wanted kids to be exposed in, whether it's painting, whether it's singing, whether it's just any form of art. We wanted them to be exposed to that. We wanted kids to grow in their creativity. So if you go over there, you'll see an area is shaped like a heart. And there's a little platform. That was a dream. And now this dream is a reality.